Good evening. Good evening. How are y'all doing tonight? Talk back to me. How was your Monday? Drop it in the chat. I want to know. What did you do this week? Especially if you were listening last week, what did you do this week to strengthen your agency? Because this is what these weekly sessions are about. They are your weekly agency strengthening sessions so that you can build an organization that's stronger than your presence, so that you can go to the cookout, go on vacation, sit on the side of the beach with a margarita and not have your phone attached to your hip. So how are y'all doing tonight, builders? Okay? Welcome back to another week of our weekly strength training. If you missed last week's training, drop it in the chat. Okay? Drop that you missed it in the chat so I could get on you. No, I really just want you to go back and watch it because today's build is directly associated with the one from last week. Okay? Last week we talked about why agencies do not get chosen. Why agencies do not get chosen. And tonight we're going to talk about what happens when they do get chosen. And I think this conversation is going to change how you think about growth, your overall perception of growth. Like this conversation is going to help you think of it differently. So last week I told you experience does not automatically create trust, right? Families are buying confidence, not longevity. It doesn't matter how long you've been in business. I'm not going to go down that road because I did last week. And you definitely want to look back at that to see what I'm talking about because a lot of times you're counting your agency out because it's new when families are buying confidence and not longevity. And then tonight, I want to challenge another belief, okay? I got a question. I got a question for you. If I doubled your referrals, the amount of referrals you're getting now, if I doubled it tomorrow, would your revenue double? Would your revenue double? If the amount of referrals you have right now doubled, would your revenue double? Put yes or no in the chat. Y'all got to talk back to me. I coach the chat. I coach the chat. Y'all got to talk back to me. Don't have me out here by myself. I like to talk to my people. Y'all have been engaging. Last week, especially, y'all been engaging with me, talking to me, chatting with me. And you see, I wrote you back. So most providers, they say yes. If I have more referrals, I'll be able to have more money. I'll be able to grow faster. If I have more referrals, and so they pay for referrals, like from Place for Moms and different things like that. Um, because they think if they had more referrals, their agency would grow. But honestly, I don't think that. I think that it would simply double the amount of referrals you'll lose if you already aren't turning referrals into clients. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I had to deliver the bad news, but you need to hear it so that you stop telling yourself the wrong thing and you do something about the part you can do something about. So let that sit for a minute. And if that statement bothers you, good, because that's exactly why we're about to have this conversation. So, this is your weekly strength training. And in order to strengthen the parts that you need to strengthen in your agency, we're going to have to tackle them. Okay? More referrals do not automatically equal more revenue. I think we've been measuring the wrong thing. Everybody always be celebrating referrals. Oh, I got another referral. You know? But I celebrate decisions because referrals are not going to pay your bills. You probably have an office that you're paying for. You probably have workers' comp, all that stuff you paying for. Having a referral isn't going to pay it. Families choosing your agency is what's going to grow your revenue. Okay? Referrals do not always equal clients. Decisions is what equal clients. And the gap between the two, That's where your money is hiding. That's where your money is hiding between those two things. Because clients do not, no, referrals do not equal clients' decisions. Getting chosen when a family chooses you is what equal clients, and that gap in between is where your money is. If you need more money in your agency, put money in the chat because that's where you're going to find it. Not by getting more referrals, but by learning how to turn referrals into clients. Money is already moving. I want you to follow the money with me, okay? Before one family ever becomes your client, money has already started moving. Google got paid if they put it on the ad. Facebook got paid if it was on the ad. Maybe a referral platform like a place for mom got paid if they're the ones who gave you the referral, the software that was used. Like I want to show you how deep this go because people think that there's no money because you're not making any because you don't know how to turn your referrals into clients, but money is moving. The website company got paid, the marketing company got paid, everybody around the referral got paid, but you. The referral reaches your agency after everybody else got paid. Now, here's my question. Why does the money stop? Why does the money stop when it gets to you? It stopped because the family didn't choose you. Because you're solving the wrong problem. So what do? We assume I need more referrals. But that's not really the logical way to think through this. If I poured more water into a bucket with a hole in the bottom, would that allow me to collect water? No. And it wouldn't fix the problem. If I needed water, just because I pour more water in, if it's a hole at the bottom, the water will go right through, and that's what's happening to your agency. Just like the water would waste, the referrals are being wasted because your conversion process is that hole. And I want to tackle something else. Attention is not the problem. I actually said this in one of my reels this week. If you responded to 10 referrals, 10 families probably saw your response. Yes, they are seeing your response. It's not a matter that they're not seeing your response to your agency. So it's not attention. You got attention. They read your response. How likely is it that they wouldn't read your response when they're actively looking for an agency? Don't they have to read the responses in order to choose an agency? So it's not about getting more attention. It's about getting chosen. Attention gets you seen. Trust is what gets you chosen. And also, let's talk about this. While we're here, while we on this block, let's talk about this. Because this is the one thing that changed my business. I stopped looking at referrals and started looking at the referral sources. One referral should never equal one client. One referral should not equal one client. What am I talking about? One referral should never just be one client. Builders, it should be the beginning of a relationship with that referral source. This was just the entryway. Now you're in. Now you're in, and you got to look at referrals like that. Okay, when someone trusted us with one family, our question wasn't how do we close this client? Our question became how do we become the agency they think about next time? So when we did our onboarding process, when somebody came, I'll use the day program for example. When somebody came to my day program, especially if they brought the referral source with them, which happened a lot of times as well. But with my onboarding process, I treated it like an experience. I didn't just sit down and talk to that one client. No, I brought that client during the hours that I knew we were doing um our activity for that day, and I made the client a part of the activity. I did it on purpose. It was all a part of my experience that I was going to create. So when they came, I had them come between 11 and 1 because that's when we did our daily activity. When they brought the client with them, I had the client sit and be a part of the activity. The teacher in the classroom will already know that the client was coming. So they already had their materials and they had their name on their materials. So they know we were expecting them. So the client then sat down, did the activity, and fell in love with the program. Who's getting up and saying, I don't want to be here after that? Because it's different already. And not only am I getting that client, now the referral source, the support administrator in my regard, she's seen how I operate as well. So now she's telling me that she has other clients that could benefit. Oh, they like those type of activities too. Oh, I could see them being here because of the experience. And then before they left, I'm gonna give you another nugget. Before they left, I would give them the activity calendar because now I know you want to come, but now I want to make you choose to come even sooner. Now you see that on Friday, maybe this is a Wednesday that you came, and you see on Friday, we're actually going skating. Do you like skating? Oh, I love skating. Okay, well, if you get the paperwork in today, I can have you all in and onboarded in time to come and do the field trip on Friday. Okay, so you should never be thinking of one referral as one client. You should be creating an experience that will make that one referral come accumulate or multiply into multiple clients. Let's talk about something else. Stop chasing referrals. That's what has you spending money. And I know I keep talking about place for mom. I think if you know how to turn referrals into clients, then getting more referrals makes sense. But a lot of people are doing it backwards. You don't know how to convert referrals and you're just throwing money, throwing money, throwing money like the bucket with the hole in it, pouring water in, and it's not turning into clients. It's just being wasted. I want you to stop chasing referrals. I don't think your next client starts with your next referral. I think your next client starts with how you handled your last referral. If you didn't get chosen, I think you need to find out why aren't you getting chosen before you go chase another referral. And I'm not saying everybody's going to choose you, but if enough people aren't choosing you, then that is saying something about your conversion strategy, not your business. Let's be clear. That's not saying anything about your business. That's saying something about your conversion strategy. It needs to be fixed. If the referral source is not coming to you, they didn't have the type of experience from your agency, and they started experiencing your agency right away from your response. So let's be clear. I know I gave you the example of the adult day program when it came out, but even before that, on the phone call, on when I responded to the actual referral, all those are a part of the experience, allowing them to experience your client. So if they wasn't captivated by the experience, that's why they did not choose your agency. You need to stop saying your three values and get to creating an experience that's unique to you and unique to your agency. Own relationships, not transactions. This is where a lot of agencies get stuck, okay? They celebrate enrollments. I celebrate relationships. I celebrate relationships. I celebrate the relationship with the referral source because I know if I handle that relationship right, that more clients are going to come. The referral source has the referrals that I need. So if I handle this correctly, I am going to turn this into multiple clients. Relationships is what compound, not a transaction, not a one-off. One referral source can feed your agency for years. That's why you do not want to treat it as a one-off. Don't drop the ball. Don't fumble the bag. Is that what they say? Don't fumble the bag, okay? Don't fumble the bag. Put that in the chat, okay? Don't fumble the bag. The referral source is who you want to show, of course, the client as well. Like you're going to um give the client an experience as well, but you're doing both at the same time. And you're recognizing that you're doing both so that both people in the one experience get swooped up. That's how you build a relationship. I built a seven-figure agency in 1 year. And it's not because every family chose me. Every family did not choose me. So I'm not saying like every referral I put out turned to me, but I can tell you this, majority of the clients, and this is no lie, majority of the clients that came that came to my day program, even for example, when I did that, the way I did the experience and everything, 9 times out of 10, first of all, if they were going to be a client, if they said yes, then they wanted to start immediately because of my activity trick, as well. But then also because I already gave them, I made them feel a part of the agency before they ever joined the agency. And that was a part of the experience. And 9 times out of 10, if you came to the appointment to see, you are already choosing the agency. I just was showing you why you made the right choice. Think of it like that. If you respond to a referral and they respond back to you, they have already chosen you. They just want to make sure they made the right choice before moving forward. So you are not going to tell them your three values. You are going to show them why your agency is the right choice. What is it about your agency? What is it about you? So I built my agency to seven figures, even though every family didn't choose me. Not because we had the most referrals. We didn't. We grew because enough families trusted us, enough referral sources remembered us. After a while, it wasn't a matter of having to respond to referrals. Referral sources will reach out to us directly. And that's where you want to be seated. And in order to get there, you have to be making the experience where they remember your agency. I even like your name to be something rememberable. I like your name to be something rememberable. And then I also, if you have a name, right? You have an agency name, um, connect what you're saying that you do to that agency name. Of course, you have an agency name, but you get what I'm saying. So, for example, if your agency name is um Alliance and Care. Okay, your agency name is Alliance and Care, then I might call the staff alliances. Is that the right way to say it? Alliances, or like whatever. I might call the staff something like that. I will break down like everything we talk about on our website. Everything will be how we're the alliance, and how we create the experience will involve the name. For me, my agency was against all odds, against all obstacles designed to discourage success. So I talked about against all odds. I talked about what we were doing differently to help clients beat the odds, why we stood out, what was different about our agency. From the moment you came in, you saw that we were, in fact, against all odds. And I did that with my program. I did that with the experience I created. You were captivated already by the name. And then when I told you the acronym and the name, you were captivated. And then once you came for the experience, I had you. So I say all that to say that your referral system, your conversion system actually needs to be a system. It actually needs to be a system. because there's no way you're treating the most important things to your agency's success as a on a whim. On a whim. Why would you be doing treating that on a whim? Like, oh, I hope I get it. I might not. No. You need to take this serious. You need to know exactly how to turn your referrals into cash. And you do that by turning your referrals into clients. So maybe growth isn't about getting more opportunities. Maybe growth is actually about becoming better stewards of the opportunities you already have. That's builders thinking. That's CEO thinking. That's my agency is about to survive thinking. So here's this week's rep, okay? I want you to think about the last referral source who sent you a client. What happened after the client enrolled? What happened? Did the relationship end or did the relationship get stronger? Because if the answer is nothing, you've probably been leaving future clients on the table. And that's exactly what I am going to be teaching inside the Get Chosen workshop this Saturday. We're going to build a complete framework how families decide, how trust gets transferred, how to communicate differently, how to become unforgettable to those referral sources, how to strengthen those referral relationships. How one referral can become many. I'm going to teach you my strategy that I use and how to build an agency people don't just know, but they choose. So I'm going to put the link in the comments and I definitely want to see you there. It's no reason you shouldn't be there. The workshop is free and I'm giving you all the game that allowed me to grow my agency to seven figures in the first year. Beat me there. All right, y'all. Any questions, anything, put it in the chat. I definitely coach the chat. But if it's a deep question that I am going to go deep in this workshop, you just need to be there. So, builders, I want to thank you for putting in another rep with me tonight. Remember, referrals create opportunities. Trust creates decisions. Relationships creates growth. Go complete this week's rep, and I will see you Saturday at the Get Chosen workshop. Until next week, strength training. I want you to keep building. I want you to keep strengthening. And as always, I will see you next week. All right, guys.